pagiging isang ina. It features some highlights of the results of the recently concluded survey, the National Demographic and Health Survey. Before I begin, I want to start by introducing to you a young girl named Girl de la Cruz, or fondly called Girla. Girla is the youngest of 3 children and the única hija of Juan de la Cruz and Juana de la Cruz. Girla is a strong-willed, independent youth at 16, and just like any youth, she has ambitions, she has big dreams, until she was sidetracked by Lodi. Lodi is a guy 5 years older her age who was just new to their neighborhood. Girla and Lodi became textmates, and not very long, they were in a relationship. Fast forward the story, after weeks and months of going out, Girla was confirmed pregnant through a pregnancy test. Her mother, Juana, eventually discovered, angry and disappointed, but she kept her sanity. As mother of Girla, this soon-to-be teen mother, Juana guided her and constantly compelled her to go to the barangay health center for the periodic antenatal care visits and check-up. Girla de la Cruz is one of the 25,074 women aged 15 to 49 who were interviewed as sample in the National Demographic and Health Survey conducted last August to October of 2017. Her household, the household of one, is a sample to that survey, and so even her mother, who is Juana, is also a sample, is also the respondent, because all women in the sample household, aged 15 to 49, are interviewed in that survey. One of the results of that survey is on childbearing among teenagers and youth. The results indicated that 9% or roughly 1 in every 10 women aged 15 to 19 are already mothers or are pregnant with their first child. So that is for women ages 15 to 19. Merong 9% na on childbearing na. And then among women who are age 15 to 24, the percentage of those who are already mothers or are pregnant with their first child is 25%. By residents, rural young women have slightly higher childbearing rates than urban young women. Next slide. There is indeed early exposure to childbearing for these young women like Girla, who engage in sexual intercourse at a young age. Among women aged 15 to 24, 2% had sexual intercourse before age 15, while 1 in every 5 women aged 18 to 24, or that represents 20%, had sexual intercourse before age 18. The women belonging to the older age group, ages 25 to 49, on the other hand, have the following computed statistics. The median age at first sex of this group of women, yung 25 to 49, the median age at first sex is 21.2. This means that half of the women have had sexual intercourse before they reach the age of 21.2. Median age at first marriage is 22.5. This is interpreted as half of the women were already married before they reached age 22.5. A comparison of the median age at first intercourse with the median age at first marriage can be used as measure of whether people are engaging in sex before marriage. The median age at first intercourse is more than 1 year younger than the median age at first marriage, 21.2 years against 22.5 years. And then 1 year later, after marriage, women have their first birth at age 23.5. That's the median age at first birth. This slide now, in front of us, shows the distribution of women by age group by current marital status. You can compare this with what Ma'am Minette showed earlier. The vertical bars represent the women by age group. The different colors within the bar show the distribution by marital status. For age groups 15 to 19 and age group 20 to 24, for those two youngest age groups, as expected, majority of them are never married yet. Sila yung mga nakapula, yung kulay. So yung first two bars, marami sa kanila ang never married. It can be noted that there is higher percentage of women living in consensual unions or yung live-in than the percentage of married in these two youngest age groups. For example, for the 15 to 19, the first bar, 1% are married, halos hindi na natin makita siya yung dark blue, and then 7% are living together in consensual union. That is among the 15 to 19. And then for women ages 20 to 24, merong 15% na married and then 26% na living together. In the Philippines, the legal age of marriage is 18. Although marriage before this age is allowed among indigenous peoples, the IPs and the Muslims. So, yun yung pwedeng explanation why dun sa 15 to 19 ay mas marami yung live-in pa dahil hindi pa sila pwedeng ikasal. Although, so yung ating categories dito, magkahiwalay naman yung married formally, tsaka yung living together. The following patterns are also evident in this graph. Percentage of never married decreases with age. Yung mga single, di ba, pababa. Habang nagkakaedad, mas kuunti na yung mga single dahil syempre mag-aasawa na sila. And then, also, the percentage of those in consensual union increases until before age 30. Dun sa first three na bars, dumalaki yung women living in consensual unions. And then after dun sa age 30, ay umuunti na sila. Okay. Overall for women 15 to 49, 60% are currently married. That is, they are either married, that's 42%, or are living together in consensual unions at 18%. 36% of women aged 15 to 49 have never been married, and 4% of women are divorced, have had their marriage annulled, or are separate or widowed. Balikan po natin si Gerla. Since she got pregnant at an early age, ilan kaya ang magiging anak niya? The number of children that a woman bears depends on many factors, including the age she began childbearing, how long she waits between births, and her fecundity, that is the capability to produce offspring. Postponing first births and extending interval between births have played a role in reducing fertility levels in many countries. Yung hindi agad nag-aanak, kahit mag-asawa, hindi muna sila mag-aanak, at saka may spacing yung between births nila. These factors also have positive health consequences. In contrast, short birth intervals of less than 24 months can lead to harmful outcomes for both newborns and their mothers, such as preterm birth, low birth weight, and possible death or mortality of children and even the mother. Childbearing at a very young age is associated with increased risk of complications during pregnancy and childbirth and higher rates of neonatal mortality. The measure of current level of fertility in a country or a specific region or locality is called the total fertility rate or the TFR. TFR in layman's language is the average number of children a woman would have up to the end of her childbearing years. The latest TFR of the Philippines, based on our NDH's 2017, is 2.7 children per woman. Ibig sabihin, ito yung average na iaanak ng isang Pilipina. So the TFR, if you will see in the graph, the TFR of the country declined steadily from 4.1 children per woman in 1993. That is, yung ating NDHS round ng 1993 gives 4.1 children per woman. And then this declined steadily up to a level of 2.7 nitong 2017 NDHS natin. So ito rin yung isang explanation bakit, sabi ka na ni Ma'am Minette, yung ating PGR, population growth rate, ay bumaba na din. The TFR among women in rural areas dropped from 4.8 in 1993 to 2.9 in 2017. And then for the urban, among women in the urban areas, the TFR decreased from 3.5 to 2.4 over the same period. If women could choose their family size, they would prefer to have 2.7 children on average. Mean ideal family size differs only slight by residence, 2.8 children among rural women and 2.6 children among urban women. Gusto talaga ng maraming anak ang gusto ng nasa mga kanayunan, regions and provinces. On birth planning. When asked about their last birth within the 5 years before the survey, whether that particular birth was planned or not, 73% of the women said that the births were wanted at the time of conception. Siya yung pinakamalaking portion dun sa pie. So that's 73%. Gusto daw nila yung kanilang ipinagbubuntis. Yun ay kasama sa plano nila. And then 16% were mistimed. That is, gusto sana nila later pa, hindi pa noon. And then 11% wanted no more. So yung mistimed na 16%, yun ay issue on spacing. Ayaw pa nila pero dumating na. And then yung 11% na wanted no more, yun ay issue on limiting. Ayaw na, pero dumating. Next slide. Couples can use family planning methods to limit or space number of children they have. Almost all women in the Philippines know at least one method of family planning. More than half, at 54% of married women, use a method of contraception. 40% using a modern method, and 14% using a traditional method. Among the sexually active unmarried women, 32% are using a method of contraception, with 17% using a modern contraceptive method and 15% using a traditional method. The pill, at 21%, is the most commonly used method among the married women, followed by withdrawal at 10% and female sterilization at 7%. Among the sexually active unmarried women, withdrawal at 14% is the most common method, followed by the pill at 11%. Okay, skip natin yung next slide. Time ko na daw. Okay, we proceed to slide 18. And, okay. On antenatal care and postnatal care. Ito yung pagpapacheck up ng nanay nung buntis bago siya sa kanyang pagbubuntis sa pregnancy period niya at after siyang manganak. Yun yung antenatal care, yung pre, and then post yung after. Healthcare services during pregnancy and childbirth and after delivery are important for the survival and well-being of both the mother and the infant. For the past 10 years, the Philippine government has heavily invested in infrastructure and human resources and has strengthened its policies to improve service delivery for women and children. Local health facilities have been upgraded and human resources for health have been trained and deployed to provide better maternal care at the primary level. Overall, 94% of women aged 15 to 49 receive antenatal care from skilled provider for their most recent births. Yung sinasabi natin na skilled provider, this includes the midwife, the doctor, and the nurse. And the nurses, the doctors, midwives, and the nurses. Midwives were the most common service providers at 50%, followed by doctors at 39%, and nurses at 4%. Only 3% of women did not receive antenatal care. On the trends on antenatal coverage. The percentage of women receiving antenatal care from a skilled provider increased from 85% in 1993 to 94% in 2017. So nagpe-pay off yung efforts ng Department of Health din kasi tumataas na yung mga babae na nagsisik ng antenatal care. The DOH recommendation is a focused antenatal care approach comprising of at least 4 antenatal care visits. I want to go through this kasi alam ko maraming estudyante na sa presentation ni Ma'am Minette naghahanap eh. So, para kung dumating man yung event na kayo ay magdesisyon ng pag-settle down at kayo ay magkakaroon na ng baby din. So, ito yung kailangan yung malaman. Ang recommendation ng DOH, minimum of 4 antenatal care visits for healthy women with no underlying problems. One first visit during the first trimester, 1 in the second trimester, and 2 visits in the third trimester at 2-week intervals. Yun yung para sa mga healthy. Pero doon sa may mga health problems, mas yung doctor magsasabi kung gaano kadalas ang pag-visit nyo for antenatal care. The first visit is recommended as early as possible on first trimester to detect and manage underlying problems such as diabetes, anemia, and hypertension. The timing of the visits is also crucial because the effectiveness of interventions such as iron and folic acid supplementation, vaccination, and testing for infectious diseases depends on when they are administered. So there has been a steady increase in the percentage of women who had 4 or more antenatal care visits, from 55% in 1993 to 87% in 2017. Over the same period, the percentage of women who receive antenatal care in the first trimester of pregnancy improved from 43% to 71%. As to Gerla de la Cruz, her mother, Juana, rigidly guided her to follow the DOH recommendation. She actually has more than 4 visits to the health center because too young siya na sa kanilang childbearing. So mas nangangailangan yon ng mas masusing pabalik-balik doon sa check-ups. And then on the place of delivery, aside from adequate management of pregnancy through antenatal care, the DOH recommend that all births be delivered in facilities classified as either BEM and basic emergency obstetric and newborn care and comprehensive emergency obstetric and newborn care facilities. So may facilities na classify as BEM NOC o BEM NOC at SEM NOC. So ang ibig sabihin lang ito, these facilities have the required equipment and staffing capacity to ensure a safe delivery for the mother and the newborn. So 78% of births in the 5 years preceding the survey were delivered in a health facility. 55% of births were delivered in a public facility, while 23% were delivered in a private facility. 1 in 5 births were delivered at home, and then births to urban women at 85% are more likely to be delivered in health facility than births to rural women. So skip na yung next. So yan, assistance during delivery. So yun lang yung mga health professionals giving the assistance. And then next, on trends in delivery services, health facility deliveries have increased dramatically since 1993 from 28% to 78% in 2017. And then since 2013, the percentage of births delivered in health facility has exceeded the percentage delivered at home. Makita natin drastic yung pagbaba ng mga deliveries at home. Doon pagdating sa 2017, 20% na lang. Okay. So pagka nanganak na, naka-deliver na ng baby, ang kailangan naman yung postnatal care for mothers and newborns. So the DOH recommends at least 2 postnatal checks for all postpartum women. After the mother is discharged from the facility, the postnatal check should take place within 72 hours after birth, and the second check should take place 7 days after birth. The purpose of the visits is timely detection of bleeding or infections, provision of vitamin A, and counseling on nutrition, breastfeeding, and family planning. So among women aged 15 to 19 who gave birth in the 2 years preceding the survey, 86% had a postnatal check during the first 2 days after their most recent birth. Similarly, 86% of newborns received a postnatal check. Mothers who delivered in a health facility and newborns that were delivered in a health facility were more likely to receive postnatal check than mothers and newborns delivered elsewhere. On basic vaccinations, so ito yung mga basic vaccinations na kailangan na maiturok doon sa baby. All in the 2017 NDHS, 70% of births were received basic vaccinations. Hindi ko na iisa-isahin yung mga kung ano-ano yon. I guess yung presentations ay i-upload din sa website. And then trends in basic vaccination coverage. The percentage of children aged 12 to 23 months who receive all basic vaccines has fluctuated over time, rising from 72% in 1993 to 80% in 2008, and then decreasing to 70% in 2017. The percentage of children aged 12 to 23 months who did not receive any vaccinations has also fluctuated over time, but notably increased from 4% in 2013 to 9% in 2017. On early breastfeeding. So this is very important that the infant is breastfed at an early stage, because early initiation of breastfeeding is important for both the mother and the newborn infant. So data indicates, there's an explanation why, but I will not read it anymore. Data indicates that 93% of last-born children who were born in the 2 years before the survey of Filipino mothers had been breastfed at some point in their life. So 93% na breastfed, ever breastfed. Over half, or 57% of newborns were breastfed within 1 hour of birth, and 85% were breastfed within 1 day of birth. On infant feeding practices. Among infants aged 0 to 5 months, 85% are currently breastfeeding, and against recommendations, 9% are consuming complementary foods. Dapat kasi wala munang halo na ibibigay doon sa baby, breast milk lang muna. Among children 6 to 8 months, 80% are consuming complementary foods. In addition, 58% of children aged 6 to 8 months are both breastfeeding and consuming complementary foods. So going back to Gerla de la Cruz, kamusta kaya siya? The last mention of her was yung nanay niya, pinipilit siya na magpa-check up at magpa-antenatal care. Well, Gerla have given birth to a cute and healthy baby through normal delivery. Another one. Meron pa. She named her Gerlalu. Gerlalu de la Cruz. Gerlalu was breastfed within an hour after birth. She was placed in her mother's breast as soon as possible for a skin-to-skin contact. Her mother, Gerla, guided by Lola Juana, followed the doctor's advice of timing of postnatal care visits and the series of visits to the health center for Gerlalu's basic vaccines. So, as I close, may I encourage, especially the students here, to check out at the PSA website the final report on NHS 2017, as well as the final report for the other rounds. The microdata for these surveys are available upon request, and you can use them for your research and for your thesis. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Plenny, for that very informative presentation. O diba, statistics is indeed everywhere. Nag-escalate agad. Kanina, naghahanap lang ng love life. Biglang hanggang breastfeeding natakal natin. So,